Okay, so this passage will depict the interview between the interviewer and the interviewee. Who is interviewee? It is not mentioned here. It is visible. It is only a overseer, a child who once used to be who once used to be a laborer in a factory, and now he is performing the duties of overseer. So let's start. This conversation or this report is one of the evidences which have been collected to offer the report by the Sadler Committee in 1832. So the overseer was asked a question that you say that you were locked up night and day. He was asking the interviewer asked that were you locked up? He replied, the overseer replied that still he is a teen. The teenage replies that yes, I was bound day and night to work in a factory, and I followed all the rules made by the mill owner, and everyone has to follow whosoever was working over there. And the interviewer asks a question swiftly that did you ever try to run away? He replied, yes, I tried. And then he says that what happened then? The teenager replied that I was finally caught by the overseer, and I was locked into the loft, master's loft. Loft means a room over a room, and he was kept over there without providing him food or anything else, and he was whipped. He was beaten with a leather rod. That was the violence, and that was the violence they were given, or the torture they were given to the runaways who try to means who dare to leave the factory, or who avoided the factory owners rules and regulation. So the interviewer asked a question that means why were you bound? He was said that I was bound because the mill owner had given my mother 15 shilling for the 6 years. 15 shilling used to be the currency in United Kingdom, and his mother was given 15 shilling, and he was bound for 6 years in the factory to work. So interviewer asked a question that do you know whether the children were in point of fact compelled to work during the whole time they were engaged? He said that yes, we were compelled by the factory owner or the overseer, who is our supervisor, to work day and night, and to keep ourselves engaged with the working. Means that we do not have any time, free time, or pause or break to relax. We have to work at any cost in the factory. By law, the interviewer asked, by law, says that I cannot say by law, but we were compelled by the master, and by the master means that was the law made by the mill owner, and it was the law of their hand. What is the law of their hand? One is law made by means made by the government, or the ruling authorities, or the ruling people, that you have to follow this and this. You cannot cross your limit. You cannot exaggerate. But here, the mill owner, they have made their own law. If they want 14 hours, 13 hours, they used to take work from the children. They did not give them time to relax or even time to sleep. So they used to have only less than 4 hour or up to 4 hours sleep. That was an impossible thought. If we think that the whole day working, after whole day working, we are not able to take sleep of relief. So it used to be it used to be done with the children who were working at the factory. So he explained the term which is law, law of their own hands. He asked question that to what mill did you go next? Means after you leave, after you completed your contract. So which mill did you go? So he replied that I went to Mr. Webster's at Bathurst in Dundee. Dundee is a city in Dundee is a city in the on the North Sea is the fourth largest city in Scotland in the 19th century, and it was famous for the industrial revolution. So Dundee is a city. So he was sent over there. He worked for Mr. Webster, and he said that means how did you act over there, means what was your designation or position. He said that I was promoted. My designation was not like a working child. I was 17 years it was I was 17 years old, and I was performing the duties of fact means floor taker or supervisor, or we may say the word overseer. He was performing his duties as an overseer person who take care of a floor, or the children who are working on the floor. Means it is his duty that if any worker or any children is showing the expression of being laziness, so he would warn them that not to be attentive. And it is for it is means it is allowed for him if any child tries to run away. So he can deal with that child as bad as he could. So it was the duties of the overseer. The next question he asked that did you inflict the same punishment that you yourself had experienced? He said that I went as an overseer, not as a slave, but as a slave driver. So he said that yes, I have experienced, I have experienced that the punishment I have suffered from the same I am looking in front of my eyes for other children. They are punished in the same way, and some of the time it happens that I have to beat them, and I am compelled to beat them. I don't want, but these are the orders from the owner, from the mill owner, and I have to follow. I have to follow him at any cost. So the next question he asked that, what were the hours of labor in that mill? Overseer said that my mill owner said me that I had to produce a certain means a definite quantity of yarn. Yarn means thread, okay, thread, woolen thread. The hours were at the time 14, and my master said that if you want master said that if I want certain quantity of yarn, you have to do it any cost. So what I did that I said that I removed the timepiece. The term has been is being used in the lesson, and it means that an instrument which is whether a clock or a watch to measure time. So he removed the timepiece from the factory, and now he increased the working hours. The working hours were already 14. Now they have increased to 19 hours. So 19 hours are a great time period to do continuous working, or continue to perform continuous duties. And he said that after giving 19 hours to the in the factory, so we have started fulfilling the task, or fulfilling the requirement, and we had produced the definite quantity of the yarn. The next question he asked that how long have you worked per day in order to produce the quantity your master required? He said, he cleared that 19 hours, not 14 hours. 14 hours were the usual time. We increased into 19 hours. So was that a water mill? He replies that yes, it was a water and steam mill both. He says that the interviewer asked question that to what time have you worked? He said that we continued our work till 12 o'clock in the night, then onwards until begin the dawn began to appear. So these were the hours we have been working. The next question he asked that were the workmen paid by the piece or by the day? These are the two terms, pay by day or pay by piece. Pay by day means you are given specific, you are given a certain salary, which is fixed salary at the end of the week or at the end of the month. Pay by piece means as many pieces you produce or you work on, you would be paying or you would be given money of your production. Okay, fine. So he was said no, they were not these were the stated wages. Stated wages means pay by day, means it was all decided that this amount has to be given to this and to the laborers. Fine. He said that did interviewer asked, did not that almost compel you to use great severity to the hands then under you? He said that yes, even I was compelled to beat the children who run away and who are not working, who are showing some signs of laziness, and some of the time it was difficult for me to get them to attend the work again, and they were becoming overwrought. Overwrought means they were in the state of nervousness, anxiety. They were not as fresh. Means they were having lack of freshness because they were not ready. They were not ready to work after a long time, and they are given only 4 hours sleep break. So how is it possible for even a common person to back to the work again? So he used to drag them out of the rooms or out of the places they were given to relax. Interviewer asked the next question, were not the children exceedingly fatigued at that time? The overseer replied that yes, they were exceedingly fatigued, but what could I do that? I cannot do anything. They have been brought to that condition and they have to perform working over there. And if they become out of the senses while working during their job hours, so we call doctor, and doctor treated them, and after treating them they are not allowed to relax, they were allowed to begin their working again. So there was no concession or no relaxation from the owner of the factory mills. They were like people who were violent, who only knows to earn money. They were only mean. They never cared about the children are working and they are taking child labor. And that was, he finally said that when you wake them up from the bed, he replied that i I awoke them after 4 minutes, after 4 hours, means no more than 4 hours I let them sleep. And I felt pain, I felt pain as I have been feeling in my childhood or when I was performing child labor. So they were hardly left in their beds for 4 hours. This was the summary of the interview. It was only the passage, or in passage we witnessed some of the things, some of the things, or some means injustice we can say that the labor were making doing with children working in the factory. So child labor is not too easy to discuss. It's difficult. Children, if we talk about the labor are working in the factories or who have age, they are facing such problem. But in so means in So prior age means in early age, which is called simply the tender age, they were facing such severe extreme attitude of the owner of the mills of the factory. They are not treated like human. They are treated simply, I say, they were, or they are treated like human. They do not have body, they do not feel pain, they do not get tired, they do not have mental what should I say, that mental comfort zone or relaxation. No, these words are not made for, are not created for them. They are only created to take work as much as could be. Fine. So now what you have to do, word pool from page number 75 you have to do. And the next, what you have to add your unfamiliar words. One important thing I would like to discuss, whenever you are going to start any new unit, please do not ignore the unit title page. Prepare unit title page, then lesson title page. All right, unit title page, then lesson title page. Glossary you have to study carefully, and then only comprehension is present there in the unit, in the lesson. And the given question answers you have to select it, give questions you have to answer. Lecture is quite thorough, clear. When you will be listening to it again and again, you will have all the answers easily. Fine. So do your work correctly. Write your answers in the tense which are given in the question. I'll be backing after a few minutes. Till then, close your literature stuff and come along with your language stuff. Open your rough copies, old pencils, whatever. Set up.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Hello, I'm back again with another topic, and the topic is verb as participle and as gerund. Let me tell you the difference between participles, verb as participle, and verb as gerund. Participle are the words which are used in a sentence or a phrase as an adjective or as an participle means ing form. Alright, they will have ing at the end of them. It is their identification. While used gerund are used as noun in the sentence as a subject or in the phrase of a sentence. Let me explain you through the examples like participles. There are some examples of the participle that excited. Excite is a verb, excited is an adjective. If I say you exciting, my friend was exciting me to break the window. I was excited. I was excited. I was excited about the match is going to be played by us. So as part the verb which we have used in two of the sentences which I spoke as adjective or as verb. Okay? Present participle we have used as here. And excited. I am excited and my friend was exciting me to break the window. Both of the examples I have given you in two or different sentences. If we talk about gerund, simply if I say the visiting mother, uh, visiting grandmother, here it is gerund, visiting. All the sentences will make your concept clear. And if I write here, I was good at drawing. So here drawing is gerund. It is obviously an ing form of the verb, but it is a noun here. It is a noun here. It is being used here as noun. If I write here drawing is her hobby. Drawing is her hobby. So what is drawing here? Drawing is a gerund here. Means as noun it is being used here. As noun it is being used here. Participles and gerund. What is the difference between their function? The difference between their function is that they both have ing form of the verb, but their functions are different. Okay, but here in participle we have talked about two different things like as adjective or as present participle form of the verb we have used. Fine. And here we have used ing form as only noun in the sentence. I was good at drawing. Drawing is a noun over there, not a verb. Here drawing is her hobby. The subject is drawing and it is ing form. It is not an action verb here. This is a noun here. Alright. Now come on the sentences. Her working hours are 19. Working hours. Working hours. Working is an adjective in the sentence, not gerund. The windows were cracked when a storm approached. Cracked is an adjective here. I am surprised to see you here. Surprised is an adjective here. Alright? Now come to the gerund. Brushing your hair prevents it from tangling, prevents it being messy or mattered. So brushing is gerund in the sentence. It's not an action verb here. It is a noun here. Working on time is his priority. Okay, working on time is his first means initial task or initial thought. Working is gerund here, not a verb. I love writing stories. I love writing stories. So here writing is gerund. Alright, writing is gerund. I love reading novel books. Reading would become gerund here, or I may use in the way that reading makes a student a better leader. Okay, reading makes a student a better leader. I have changed reading here, but a good reader becomes a good leader in the future. This is a quote. Fine. So reading, if I would use here reading, it would be gerund over there. Alright, these are some examples. You can understand easily. It's not too difficult, but important to know where we are using in while writing our passages or creating essays or stories or anything else. I hope that you would have understood, and what you have to do when you are doing this work in the copies, prepare title page, verb as participle and as gerund. Title page you have to prepare, then you have to copy as I have done. Participle, then examples you will be copying. Gerund, then gerund's example you would be copying. If you are, and after that you are, means you have been given tasks to make up sentences. So you have to make sentences, not mixing up together, separate. Participle sentences separately and gerund sentences you have to make separately. Okay, the topic was not so typical, so it was a lighter topic to understand. I hope that you would have understood. Keep practicing, keep working your work neat and clean. We will inshallah meet in the next class. Till then, Allah Hafiz and take care. Bye.